The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
It's the Weekend Podcast, live from the summer house. We've got Pete, Steve,
Hiya.
Paddy.
Hi, Pad.
Where the heck is Paddy?
Hi, Pad. Maybe he saw your email that said 6 p.m.
That's a good point. I was like, listen, what's happened, right? It's a bit crazy at the moment. So, Steve and Pete came down last night to the house, and we had a few drinks. There's a knock on the door at 6 this morning, right? My mother and father are standing there. I'm on the south coast of England. They're from South Wales. At 6 in the morning. They've tried to go to Tenerife on holidays. They refused. Not necessary, your travel. So they come in here, and he said, well, we called you. So what do you mean call us? My father said, well, we called you at 5:30 in the morning, then 6. I said, yes, 5:30 in the morning? It's a Saturday morning. We've had a few drinks last night. Come on, what's going on here? So my wife is trying to book them a holiday in there. Lola the dog is barking at Pete non-stop.
She doesn't like you at all, does she?
Because he's a criminal.
Not a big fan.
No.
Not a big fan.
Paddy's not turned up. And our broadband connection's not very good. So apart from that, it's cracking! But welcome to the Weekend Podcast. Paddy should be here, so he should be making a late arrival. I'm looking down the garden, by the way. This is the summer house. I'm looking down the garden to see if Paddy's arrived. He'll probably be in conversation with my mother, who's losing her memory and doesn't know where she is. So he probably in conversation. Lola the dog's probably attacking him, so he'll get you sooner or later.
Yeah.
All right, lads.
Apart from that, it's going well.
Well, yeah.
We haven't done this for how long?
2 years. I think we did it 2019, around September.
Is it?
Yeah, a long time.
You've probably been a Waite, Steve, I think.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah. Listen, by all means, join in the chat there. Pete and guys, you just keep an eye on the chat because
Yes.
I'll just be talking non-stop.
Yeah.
If someone joins in. But welcome to the Weekend Podcast. What we're going to be talking about this week, okay? The economy is reopening and it's booming. Oh, yeah, and it's good for certain companies. Who's this?
Got to be Paddy, isn't it?
It's my son.
Oh.
I can't answer that now. My son calling.
live on YouTube.
Just like one show, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, is checking your share prices bad for you? Okay, that's another one. What not to focus on? That's another one. Is Bitcoin going below 30K? And I've got stats here that suggest it may be. What Oatly and Bitcoin have in common? But first, and this was Pete's subject, and I blame you. It sort of was. I thought it was a good subject.
Okay.
So I want to join in the chat on this, okay? And I know some of you will think yes, some think no. But should CEOs of AIM be on Twitter? Is it a red flag, or is it a free promotional tool? Or is it unprofessional? I mean, LinkedIn maybe, okay, because that's more professional, isn't it? Would you like to join? That always reminds me, Pete, that you sent that picture years back, and there's like a cabin in the middle of the forest somewhere, and there's a polar bear
There's a polar bear, yeah.
Polar bear looking through the window and saying, would you like to join my professional network, please? Because that's what you get on it. But Twitter, CEOs, is there a good way to connect to shareholders, or is it a bit of a snake oil salesman sort of type of thing? Because I know where I sit in it, but what's your opinion? And because Pete, why did you say this?
Should we name names?
Yeah, don't be shy.
Okay, I was just pointing out Salt Lake Potash released some news this week, didn't they, of another raise?
Yeah.
And I know we were in it, and we got out when I felt a little bit let down by the management there, because they promised there wasn't going to be any more raises, and then there were, and so I got out. I think, Steve, you're still in.
Of course I am, yeah.
Okay.
It's a collector's item now.
But I made the point that Tony, the CEO, is quite often on Twitter and, for want of a better word, sort of ramping the stock. And,
But look, to be fair, Tony does do nice pictures. He doesn't. He's not very rampy, I don't think.
All right, but
he does do nice pictures, and he does say, powering up.
He did use the rocket emoji.
Oh, no, he did. Yeah. That's
not about the share price, I have to say.
That is a red flag. But the thing is, and I know a few on Twitter. I mean, there's Jerry from Deep Verge is on Twitter a lot. In fact, Neil from Vasarian was on Twitter a lot, but he's not so much now. I think he's had a bit of flack from it. And there's also Tony. If you know of any others, I don't know of any others, but should they be on Twitter? Should CEOs be on? I mean, because I was talking to someone recently, and they said a CEO shouldn't be on Twitter. They should be too busy, with the business, not promoting the business. That's not their gig, And if they are really busy, they shouldn't be on Twitter. And and to a certain extent, I sort of agree, because they should be focusing on the business itself, not the share price or promoting it to get the share price up. They should be focusing on the business. What is your thoughts? Let me know. Anyone? Has anyone started chatting yet?
Just saying hello.
Hello.
Thanks. Good morning.
Is that
Morning.
Jerry from Deep Verge?
Yeah, and Tony from Salt Lake Marsh.
Yeah.
Nigel, Adam, hello. Andy, hello. Sean, Alan again, hello. Where the heck is Paddy? Good point, Alan. I don't know.
It's like 10 past...
Yeah,
5 past 10, and he's not even here.
Part-timer.
Do you know what I love about investing, right? Is that we're always learning, right? Yeah. Always learning. We're at different levels of the journey. Would you say you're ahead of Pete, Steve? Pete?
Pete. That's Steve.
Why is Steve and Pete so interchangeable?
Only in your head, I think.
They're just common names, aren't they, really?
You're just common names.
But I'm special. No,
you and my mother get it wrong.
Yeah, I know. So, So would you say you're ahead of Steve?
I've sold more than Steve.
Steve still holds solid potash.
Yeah.
Why, Steve?
Yeah.
I was a little bit down in it, and I just thought, I just find it really hard to sell when it's just a little bit down. I thought, I'll just wait until it just creeps over that.
I know, but that's a classic mistake.
I know.
It's like that chicken story, a very clear chicken story that I said before. Remember when a guy's got a chicken trap and he's got a little stick on a little crate like that. He says, right, put some seed inside, we'll catch some chickens. And so one chicken goes in and then one starts to walk towards it. And the guy said, right, pull the stick with the string attached to the stick. He said, pull the stick, trap that chicken. He said, no, there's another one coming in. And then two goes in. And he goes, right, pull the stick, his mate says. He said, no, let the third one's come in. Third one comes in. He goes, oh, excellent. He said, no, pull the stick. No, look, there's another fourth one. And all of a sudden, one goes out. He said, oh, hang on. He said, let the other one come back in. He'll come back in now. And then the other one goes out. He's left with one chicken. He said, wait till the other one goes. And then the other chicken, the last one, just water. And he pulls the stick, and literally there's no chickens in the cage. And so what I'm saying is, in a roundabout way...
What are you saying?
Just take what you can, get out. If you're not happy with it, if it's because it's a business, right? I always think about what you should focus on is, can I conceivably, or am I confident I could put this money to work somewhere else? That's all you got to think of when it comes down to it. Regardless of how much money you've lost or gained, can I, put it to work better in another company? If you can't, I suppose Steve, when your research is like, what's the ticker? I suppose you're not confident of that, You're just thinking,
but it's like I was waiting for it to kind of go, and I was using a couple of shares as my cash fund. So when the next stock that could make more money, I'll put it into that. But it hadn't come along, and obviously that news on Friday that kind of dropped it by about 12%. So that's not ideal. I did try and sell it first thing on Friday morning when that RNS came out, but obviously I couldn't sell because it's Harry and Larry, and it's just
the horse is bolted.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but it still can make money though, can't it?
I don't understand. I mean, if someone knows, I've lost a bit of the story now. I do talk to Tony on the podcast now and again. I've lost a bit of the story, so I don't understand what the raise was for. Was it previously announced? Apparently it was on March the 4th. Another raise, the share price takes a hit. And I know this. I was at CFO walked away because it did the finances on the back of a fag packet, apparently. That's what they said. But it can chuck out a lot of cash. Of course it can. And
it's just the dilution, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got 9 lakes as well backing up, behind them. So there's potential there to earn lots of money. It's just, I think, with debt and all that, it's I should go out. My wife is calling now. Hello?
This is brilliant.
Where's his role? Paddy's here. Where's his role? His role is as a presenter on the podcast.
He wants his breakfast roll before he starts. Is that?
I haven't got a sandwich up here. This sandwich is not a priority.
It's next to the fridge.
It's next to the fridge. It's next to the fridge. Where's his sandwich?
Okay.
Right. You don't get this in the one show, do you? Trevor McDonald's here. Where's his roll? He's late. No, but where's his sandwich? He wants to come. Where's Trevor's sandwich?
I don't know. So I read some of the chat that are coming in around the CEOs being on Twitter. Sean says maybe not the CEOs, but the company itself tweeting news. It's not required to release an RNS.
Yeah.
No, I agree. No, the company should be on Twitter. That's fine. It's just when they're...
It's Paddy just strolling up nonchalantly.
The CEO is casually kind of ramping the stock on their own personal account. It always just...
That's the thing. Do you know what? I did say that to Neil once from Vasarian. I said, Neil, why didn't you just get Vasarian, the brand Vasarian, tweeting out the news?
Yeah.
That's because... And I also said, would you see the CEO of GSK on Twitter talking about the company privately? You know, sort of, Paddy, what the heck are you doing?
Paddy, come in. Come in.
Paddy's got his sandwich there. What the heck is going on here?
This? What's going on? Well, we're live on YouTube.
We are live streaming.
Shut the door, it's freezing.
There's a crazy dog in that house.
Did he bark it? Did he bark? Yeah. Lola hates Pete.
Yeah.
Pick the microphone up.
Yeah, you picked the mic up because we started, see? So the first question we started, Pat, and you may agree or disagree with this. He's looking ripped, Pat, isn't he? Did you cycle here?
Yeah.
Okay.
How small do I
From
look?
where?
It's a pan.
Put the mic close to your mouth, Pad. That's it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi.
And he's only worked in radio and TV for a long time. But, first question we've asked, should CEOs be on Twitter, right? I mean, personal CEOs. I understand the companies can be on Twitter. I think Sean just said there, the companies, yes.
Yep.
CEOs themselves, personally, talking about the company all the time. Should they be doing it? I mean, Pete thinks they shouldn't. You know, he thinks most of them are scum, he said.
No,
They're doing that.
Well, wait.
And, so I said, no, maybe not. I think it's the brand itself. It's fine. You know, not the CEO talking about the company.
And that's what people are saying in the chat, basically.
It's a red. I see it as a red flag. I see it as a red flag.
Yeah, the company, as long as the company has a decent presence, you know, you don't need the CEO kind of promoting the business on there as well.
CEOs should be part salesmen, at about 10%. You know, part salesman. They shouldn't be 90% salesmen. You know, they've got to be a little bit salesman, but not all salesmen. You can start eating your role.
Yeah, what is it?
The priority there was, where's Paddy's role? Use your mic,
Thanks
Pad.
for making that for me, mate. That's very kind.
It wasn't for you. It was Megan.
How is everyone? You're right.
Yeah, really good, thanks.
Like I
Yeah.
said, my parents just turned up at 5 this morning.
What a nightmare.
Because they can't get on a plane. And so we got things going on here. Really? Yes. Oh, we'll come in anyway. So
Where were they flying from?
they're flying from Bristol. So Bristol is like an hour away.
Yeah, that seems like a detour.
And then they sort of decided to come further and closer. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. But there we
Smell
are.
a rat.
We're going to the pub later. And yeah.
Come in.
Yeah.
No, nice, yeah.
No, not come in the pub. No, so we're going to the pub later. You can't come. We're booked in. It's fully booked. I said, well, my mother said, well, okay, then we'll get back in the car and drive home. I thought, go on then. What's this now? That's my son. Monty, I'm doing a live stream. I'm on
Anyway,
it now. How can I help you?
down?
I really want a coffee. Is there any coffee in there? No.
Are you getting coffee?
The service is awful, isn't it?
Right.
Where's the runner?
I've got to go, Mont, okay? Because I'm on doing a live stream. I'll speak to you later.
Steve, this is a nice setup.
Bye-bye. Monty wants an app or something, or data. He's like,
Is he in there as well?
no, he's not in there. No, they're somewhere
well
else.
be.
And do you know what Fred said to me this week? He just sat down casually, sat next to me, right? He said, Dad, me and Charles looked up sexual intercourse in a dictionary. It says when a man puts his penis in a lady
Right.
for a baby or for fun.
I'm hoping Charles isn't his teacher.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Charles?
Should we be worried?
And I went, cool. And walked off.
That's that chat done.
I don't have to.
Tell your brother.
I don't have to do the birds and bees now. Perfect. So anyway, so that's that. Chat. Anything more on chat? You keep me on chat.
People are saying, raising a good point, that Elon Musk does help the Tesla share price.
Yeah. No, in fact, Elon Musk doesn't. He just tweets about Dogecoin and all that stuff, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, true.
Bitcoin's down again. I'm going to do some stats on Bitcoin. Look at the chart. And I've got to say, I don't hold any, so maybe biased, but it's not looking very good, honestly. Just look at the previous dips it's had at this level.
Yeah.
But anyway, so...
Someone also saying this is more like Loose Women than the One Show.
yeah. Just loose women. What is that about? They're just going and chatting about nonsense today. We're just going to chat about that.
Yeah.
We just still
Hello?
think socks. We're going to chat about that in a bit. And they're, oh, right, I've got to hang on for that then.
Guess who said that? A guy called Charles.
Oh, was it Charles? Yeah. Not the Charles.
What's he doing with your son?
No.
This is all a bit...
So the economy is reopened. It's flourishing. I did a poll in the week, right? And I thought people thought this was probably an escapement ramp on my behalf. But I said, will you be going to a bar, restaurant, cinema, or doing something related to
Escape
leisure,
room.
hospitality this week? I didn't put any ticker in there or anything. I just put that. I tried to make it as unbiased. So it started off by people saying, no. I thought, why not? You're allowed to go out, you know? It's like, and then the no started winning. But it came in at 928 votes. It was 46.6% said no. 53.4% said yes, And the economy's going nuts. Have you seen it? The retail sales jumped 9.2% in April. And they're saying now this figure's the highest in the PMI terms, the highest since 1998. The UK is enjoying an unprecedented growth spurt to the economy. And I just think we can do a survey of 4 here. Have you done anything this week that's different compared to the last few weeks of your life?
Come here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is the only thing
But that's why a lot of people do that. A lot of people are doing things differently.
I went out on Monday, got hammered, and I'm feeling hungover a week.
Right.
You are old.
Hanker for the old life.
Yes. The lockdown life.
Yeah.
Right.
That wasn't an option.
Yeah.
That felt better.
I just realised, right, my life has not changed.
That's because you live in here.
I know. My life from the start, before pandemic, to now.
Hasn't
and there's me talking to the podcast saying, nothing's changed, is it really? I don't feel anything's changed. And I realise my life hasn't changed, but Megan's been going out and doing stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought, it's the same. So I suppose, I'm happy with it. But we're going out today. We're going out.
Yeah.
And, enjoying
party
the thing.
time with your parents.
Exactly. I know.
Yeah, that's good.
Come on, just stood in the doorstep like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, let it go.
I thought Megan was saying things like, I was in bed, and she really? I thought someone like killed themselves over the road or something.
Yeah.
So,
Didn't you say, you can't stay?
I said, you can't stay here.
Yeah, you can't stay.
Your friends
There's no room in
stay
the inn.
No, there's no room in the inn.
Go away.
No, yeah.
They can stay in some house up here, can they?
Nice, supportive son.
I know, it's just hard.
How's Chris's portfolio looking?
It's good.
Are you still managing that?
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Is he watching this? Down in the house?
Absolutely not.
But,
He's still in C4 XD, isn't he? Excellent.
Yeah.
Well done, Chris.
he's up. What's happened with that, though? You've sold that, haven't you?
I was thinking yesterday.
Paddy's
Actually,
dumped it.
I'm really missing it, and I might
Get back in, Pad.
I might get paid this week, so I might buy some more.
Yeah.
Are you going to go back in?
Yeah.
Paddy, that is trading.
I miss having those little, like me and Pete were chatting.
Dirty
I miss
trader.
having those little bits of fun on the side.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, the last few weeks, it's great to have a solid portfolio that I'm happy with, but at the same time, it's quite dull.
Yeah.
Just looking at the same 6 stocks
And- but-
every day. Like,
Yep.
cool. Where's the fun?
I suppose so. That's why people have punts, I suppose. Because, I mean, the thing is, investing, if you look at, if you look at Buffett, for example, he said it's supposed to be boring. You're supposed to buy the most boring companies there are because the stock market, by its very nature, is very volatile. And in fact, I keep saying that the further you can see ahead in a company, the better you are. And so that's why if you want to get a boring company, you get good returns. But I mean, that's why people have punts, I suppose. It's like I got to admit, in fact, someone asked a question about location sciences, and I did have a punt on that the other day because location sciences is one of these companies that work on data and proximity data, okay, and it's doing quite well. And they're saying a lot of marketers, basically they're a disruptor in that area. But the trouble is, a lot of advertisers won't jump on board because it's disrupting the industry and they find it hard. But they've got very good product, but it's been hammered, and obviously the shutdown hammered it because they need obviously footfall and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, and I was just watching it all the time. So I like their tech, but they were struggling. And then all of a sudden, the week before last, they did a fundraise. Involved in the fundraise was the chairman of Boohoo. This is like a 2 million market cap company. Boohoo, one of the best performing AIM stocks ever, worth 5 billion, 6 billion, or what is it, 4 billion. And he said, why is the chairman of Boohoo getting involved with this company and raising money? So I just jumped in. I bought as much as I could. I couldn't buy a lot. I bought as much as I could. And it just went nuts. And now it's still even... So everyone expected the place to go down to like 0.2, where it was, I think it was. And it didn't go anywhere near that. It went down to 0.3, then just shot back up to 0.6 or 0.7. I just sold out. And I thought, they got this all hype at the moment.
Trading.
That's trading, isn't it, Justin?
That's
It's trading.
It's definitely trading.
I know. But but I couldn't get any more stock, right? And already it had risen very quickly. And I thought...
Did it jump up because you'd bought half the company?
No, it was a
You were responsible for this whole move.
The chairman was in there. But that's a typical hypey stock that people love. Hope, hype, potential. Like I said, there's 2 different kinds of price appreciation. One's based on fundamentals and it's sustainable. One is not. It's hope, hype, potential. If you get in early, you'll do very well and it'll go up. But it's got to be in a hot sector. The tech data is hot. Then you add to the mix, and not only the chairman of Boohoo, but there's a couple of tech guys in there as well, just joined, who are well known, done very well. And think, hang on, that's got the makings, a really hypey stock. So you can jump in that quickly. But I've seen a couple of people in it now, and at 7, and if you look at the chart, it's a bit wayward. And I'd stay away now, spiked.
But you got completely out.
Yeah.
So you literally...
Yeah.
that
I
is
did
trading.
well.
Definitely trading.
That is
I
definitely
did well. I mean, only
Time scale on that? A day?
Yeah.
No, I held it for a week.
Oh.
So I wasn't a day trader. I was a week trader.
Okay. Yeah. Very weak.
Very weak. No. So it wasn't a day trader, but But sometimes in that, I suppose you've got to have a bit of fun. But make no bonus. But the thing is, again, I've got to have conviction in a stock. But that was so low as a market cap. And that's one of the things I in the Share Pickers Investment Club, I say look for. If you do see a company that's a bit of a dog, who's had a bad time of it of late, and they do a decent fundraise and some decent people involved, that should you should put them on your watch list. If you don't, you can either jump in and trade it, but you should put them on your watch list because something's changing there, and they've obviously got some connections. And there's the big guy seeing something in that tech, and he's boohoo. They've just bought. What did they just buy as well? They bought Top Man's stuff, didn't they? All into
lots of brands.
Location marketing is very powerful for them, for Boohoo, isn't it? They don't know people are. So it's So there's something happening there. But
it's different for if Boohoo had invested in them, that would be one thing. For the chairman to buy into it, that's slightly different. Isn't it?
And you've got to look at how much he put into it. I mean, he put it. I don't know how much, but he's got warrants. There's a load of warrants in there and all that stuff. So these people, like I said, sometimes you can jump in when these high net worths get involved, but you're not playing the same game as them, And someone said to me recently about John Story jumping in on Clear Leisure Group, which is now Quantum Blockchain has changed its name to. John got in there at preferred, rates. He got, I think, 1 pence he got in. He's got warrants. It doubled overnight. If you want to follow John, fair enough. But if you can get the same price as him, good, follow him. But if you can't, remember, you're not playing the same game as him because it's all about the price. And people like high net worth always get, a preferred sort of entry point. So, that's why sometimes you just got to invest in businesses.
Because they're buying in volume. Well,
no, because they are high net worth. Like all these the investment houses are approached by companies all the time, and saying, do you want to invest in this, at this level? And literally, by the time they're in, the share price has already risen, or they've already been given a discount to the market anyway.
Yeah. The rich get richer.
Yeah, the rich get all the time.
You getting those calls yet?
All the time, the rich get richer. Yeah. I mean, that's the way it works, isn't it? Why would you want to? If you got an option of say going to 1,000 small shareholders or one guy who's a billionaire, who are you going to go to? Shareholders. No, considering that guy, the billionaire's got a reputation as well, and everyone knows him. So of course, and it's one transaction versus 1,000 transactions of different sizes. So that's why people say, when they say offer the shareholders a placing, let us do it. It is harder to do a placing like that or offer an open offer to shareholders or rights issue because there's a lot of, paperwork involved, a lot of admin involved. They're all bitty. Rather go to a big investor, would you say, have a big discount, have it, check your couple of million, have warrants, all that. So, any comments?
And people are loving Paddy's laptop. Open that up. There we go. Yeah.
It's not called Apple, it's called sausage.
Yeah. It's the next generation laptop.
Apple sausage.
And someone's struggling to concentrate, fixated on your role, and there's no tea to go with it. Yeah, good point.
Where is the tea?
Where's the tea? That is poor. Or coffee.
Yeah.
It's like 15 people in that house.
I know.
Come on.
Well, to be fair, Pad, you're supposed to be at sort of 5. When I said to you, what time are you arriving? He said, that was 11.
People cycle routing tried to take me onto the M3.
That's fine.
That wasn't ideal. So, and then the alternate route was through a bush. So that wasn't ideal. So I had to deviate and go off route myself. It's lucky I made it.
I don't understand where did you cycle from? Eastleigh?
Eastleigh, yeah.
There's now a campaign for Paddy to eat the roll. Come on.
Eat your roll. You got to
I think I'm allergic to most of it. So
eat the roll.
You know
I have wheat, and is that veggie or is that?
No, that's meat. Yeah,
Stressful eating on camera as well, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Give it to Steve, isn't it?
I cut out meat for a couple of years now. And all of a sudden, Megan's just starting to slip me back into meat, right? She said, right, tonight, it's American night, she said the other day, right? It's ribs and chips and slaw. That's what I'm having. She said, that or take it or leave it.
She does make good coleslaw, though.
You could have had the chips and slaw.
Yeah.
Well, the massive ribs there, chips and slaw. So, and every now and then, but it's, if you look at it now, even Steve is starting to eat, aren't you, fake meat.
I'm starting to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's why he's put the weight on.
Starting to eat fake meat, isn't you?
Yes, I am, yeah.
See, and I was there ramming down your throats literally years ago saying, honestly, it's good for, and I keep saying this, and it will be like this, when this food, this meat, is like, tastes the same, price point is the same, it's better for the environment, it doesn't kill animals unnecessarily, then why wouldn't you buy the fake stuff?
How are those stocks going, Beyond Meat and all that? Because
they're doing well. Well, in fact, in this country, that's why I bought into agronomics, and I got out and it went mad. But
traded again.
They just raised 65 million This is a company that was like worth 20 million market cap. They've just raised 65 million and they had oversubscribed. They always say oversubscribed. Have you noticed every fundraise is oversubscribed? It's like, you've never got a company saying, no, we didn't have any demand. We couldn't...
Subscribe that one.
Nobody seems to
that
want
one
to.
we did at 30% discount.
You went all right, but only sold half the
That's true.
So, no, but Agronomics doing very well because they're in that space and it's going to be huge. Of course it is. Does anyone really want to kill animals? I want dead animals. And in fact, they make the meat healthier, less saturated fat. Of course, a no-brainer. And that's why I should have had a bit of patience, stuck in there. Yeah. But I didn't, I got out.
The thing that I found out when I was researching this for a film is that if we grow so much food that we then feed to animals, which is it makes no sense. If we just ate the food that we feed to animals, there would be more than enough food for everyone on the planet. Well, that's because we're obsessed with feeding cattle soya that we're in this mess.
Well, no, water as well. Look at the stats, and I did 3 videos on agronomics, and I looked at the stats. And it's phenomenal. For one burger, you're talking about 1,200 gallons of water. So just one, but it's nuts. It's crazy. And of course, like I said, there are people in the world starving, but we are feeding the corn. We are taking vast amounts of fields of water to feed basically the cows to feed the first world, big burgers in America and it's ruining the environment. So of course it's one of the hottest themes out there, but I jumped out of it too early.
I wonder what happened with, because at the moment obviously you can't serve a fake burger to someone without telling them it's a fake burger, but let's be honest, some of them are so good you can't.
Did you see that one? Did you see a documentary on Beyond Meat? They literally went to the Midwest in America. And these are cowboys, and this guy's a chef, did a Beyond Meat barbecue, and they're all there with the cowboy hats on, authentic, cowboys, and they give him some burger with all the relish on, and he's eating that, and the guy said, "Did it taste any different?" He said, "Tastes nice." He said, "Yeah, it's not meat." He said, "What do you mean it's not meat?"
Is that stuff soya, or is that the
No, that was like I don't know what they do.
But that's the problem. There's going to be some people who doesn't matter how nice the fake meats will taste. They will I'm a meat eater. I will eat meat.
Yeah, so, it is meat.
But at what point? I wonder.
No, but hang on, I'm talking about real meat now. You can get they are lab growing meat.
Oh, right, okay.
So it will be meat. So what I'm saying is, the only difference is, I want dead animals. I want animals to suffer. Are there people out there who say, I'm not going to have lab meat. I'm going to have the ones where animals actually suffer and die. I'll only be happy if I'm eating a suffering dead animal.
And that's your opinion.
I mean, I don't think that won't happen, will it? Surely. It'll just be like, I'll have the ones that's healthy, that's creating in the lab. I mean, there is the farming side of it, of course. People will lose jobs.
Gary says he's in, Gary says he's in Beyond Meat and he's taken a battering recently.
Oh, is it?
Really?
Yeah.
So,
well, no,
opportunity, yeah.
Yeah.
It
did take off, didn't it? It went mad.
It went crazy.
At the start.
So, he does say great burgers, though. Tastes exactly the same.
No, I got a load of them now from Aldi. The lines are coming. I kept saying, I said, how do you invest in corn? Because corn started it off. And I said, how do you invest? I was looking around, apart from going to the US, there was no opportunity to invest apart from agronomics. And agronomics now, share price has gone berserk. And so, of course, it's one. That's what I'm saying. When I talk about investing in themes, that's the theme that's not going away. Same like EVs. So do you see how? In fact, good point. Do you see Elon Musk apparently flew to Luton last week?
Yeah.
Last week for a look around, people saying there may be a Tesla factory being built because there's rumours there's a Tesla factory being built in the UK. But he flew to Luton.
Luton's a great place for a weekend.
I know, but did you say...
Just
lovely.
Yeah. The thing is, my parents can't go to Tenerife, right? They got turned away at Bristol Airport. How come Elon just fly into Luton, fly back out?
There are quite strict rules. You do have to quarantine for 5 days before you're allowed outside.
Can you see Elon quarantining? I can't. He's actually ramping the heck out of Dogecoin. He doesn't care about anything, is he? He must be laughing, really. The multi-billionaire just ramping it on out like.
Is he not coming in like a private jet though?
Yeah,
so...
but doesn't that matter? Or
Still
not?
quarantine.
Yeah,
still coming in.
Doesn't matter how you come in. If you come in on an inflatable duck on the water, you still got quarantine. As in, you can only allow non-quarantine if you're on a big inflatable. Yeah, so that's what it is. Okay. Anyway, Fred would like to get an app, Flipmaster, for free from the App Store. No, that's all they do.
Fred in there?
No, he's in Essex, isn't he? Okay. In fact, any more CEO stuff? Any more chat there? Are you looking?
A few other people. That's a good question. Amon says, "Would you ever consider getting back into Open Orphan?" Because
Fred is now calling me.
Tunity.
Mr. Tunity, yes, that's a good one.
Decline. I'm not doing
Why
that.
does everyone call you?
How do you,
Because
Fred
wants me. Yeah, Fred wants me to. I have the App Store, obviously. I'm the gatekeeper of the App Store for them. And literally, if you look how many apps they've asked me to every day I have 5 apps requests, and their phone is full of apps, loads of them. And I thought, you don't need that many apps,
No.
Stop it. So what are you saying then? Would I get back into up north? No, listen, my investment, I've done well from my investments that start off small, micro to mid cap. That's what I'm aiming for all the time. Up Northern did that. I was in that, and I got out too early. Agronomics, it was micro. It's now almost getting towards mid cap. That's happened, Argo blockchain, but that's a bit different. I want to get back to that in a bit, Argo blockchain. Bitcoin's had it.
Forever?
No. I just genuinely think we're talking about climate again, right? And in fact, let's get to that, right?
I don't think the people who mine Bitcoin give a monkeys about the environment.
No, but they've got to change it though, because it's going to get bad. Because if you look at if you talk about climate versus Bitcoin will always lose because there's more people in numbers. And let's be honest, if the world ends, there'll be no more Bitcoin miners or Bitcoin. So it's got to change that. I know people are saying it is going towards that. I think either it has to innovate fast or that's it. But do you know what? I did a survey saying where do you think Bitcoin will be in the next week or so? Do you think it'd be below 30k or above it? And most people said above it. I think the majority was, slight majority. It was like a Brexit vote again. Slight majority said it'll be above 30k. I've looked at the last 3 times, Bitcoin's price has gone below the 200-day moving average. And of those 2 times, two of those 3 times, a year later it's been lower than the price where it dipped below. So that's what 66% chance.
So you reckon
a year later it's been lower. Yeah, if it was in fact, I'll get it up here on the thing. So it was like in 2014.
But the news this week.
Here we go. So 2019 it did. But the difference is in 2019. I'll tell you why. So in 2014, okay, this is the price of Bitcoin. 2014-15. It was at 474. March the 27th, that's $474 in March the 27th. It went down below the 200-day moving average. A year later, it was half that, pretty much 247 it was at. Now, on the 5th of Feb 2018, it dipped below. It was at 6,874. A year later, it was 3,364. The difference is with this one, this difference one was the Dash for Cash March. So it dipped below the 200-day moving average, which everything in the world did anyway. Yeah. In 2019, so in March, it dipped below that and it came back up. But it was higher a year later then, because everything went down, didn't they? And dipped back up. But on the last 2 corrections it's had, natural corrections, not the Dash for Cash one, it was a year later, it was lower. So everyone was jumping in saying, buy the dip now. Be careful with that. Just look back at previous history when Bitcoin's gone down below 200, and it didn't come back up for a year. So
but I just think like news like this week with the China news saying we're banning it, or
we're banning it.
Yeah,
and they said 2 years later, we're still banning it.
Okay, yes,
we're banning it and we'll lock you up, chop your heads off.
But that unpredictability of a news like that coming out,
is it even possible?
Knackered, aren't you?
Is it even possible for China to ban Bitcoin?
Well, in China, they just chop people's heads off, don't they? They just go in these warehouses full of these machines. You go in a warehouse, right, with 17,000 machines of computers. What are you doing here? Just browsing the internet.
What part of it are they banning? Are they banning using it or banning mining it?
It's illegal. It's illegal.
All right, so
that's
what they're just going to make it illegal. Because I know with like the internet, they can block certain things, so they can't actually stop it. They'll just make it illegal.
Yeah. What would your reasonable excuse be then? If you've got a warehouse full of computers. No, I'm just browsing.
No, that's definitely not.
Yeah.
I can think
are you mining? No. No, I don't know what.
But are they banning it because they want to create their own one, or what's the motivation?
Yeah, they are. Everyone's creating their own. That's the thing. Is that the thing is the tech is amazing. I've always said this. The tech is amazing at decentralization. Of course it is. It's going to work. It's going to be the future. But it's not the future for 3,000 coins. There's 3,000 crypto coins. Most of them are just ridiculous. So they will crash, most of them. They'll bring the value of most things down, but then the survivors then will be like the Amazons and of the internet. But there's got to be
NFT thing that does my head in. I can't get my head around that.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Like if you really want to own that, just right click on it and save it.
It's funny, people can't see the bubble. When you're in a bubble, people refuse to believe it's a bubble. But they are. When you got, I was explaining to my father about crypto earlier, and I said,
at 6:30 this morning,
Bitcoin is valued like Apple, Now, if you look on this table, we've all got Apple products, right?
Well, apart from Pad.
Yeah, but and we've been what crypto stuff or Bitcoin stuff do we have? But it's valued the same as Apple, pretty much close to. And even the worst, crappiest coins are like the size of FTSE 100 companies. That is not sustainable. Now, you can use any excuse you can to say no, they're worth that. It's the future. No, Dogecoin is not the future, is it? Well, it could be.
See.
Apparently,
who knows?
It's pretty cute.
It's quite cute, but it's not. So anyway,
it's a good point here, and I was thinking 30 minutes gone and he hasn't mentioned escape hunt. Is he feeling?
Oh, here we are. Yes,
okay?
Yeah.
Are we doing an escape hunt this weekend? Is that why we're here?
No.
This is it.
They are open, aren't they?
No, Pete said to me, "We're not going to talk about escape hunt again."
Yeah, I did, everybody.
And I said, "What are you talking about?" Yes.
Well, no, it just feels like it's becoming the escape hunt podcast. So.
Well, no, do you know what? This is why I say it. This is why I say it. People say, "Oh, you're pumping it," or "I'm not pumper and dumper. I'm holding it. I'm promoting it." Lots of people still don't know about escape hunt, and I think it's one of the best plays around. And the reason why I say that is earlier on I said, boring investments you can get are the best. And investing is about trying to see as far into the future as you can without any upset. And that's if you can do that, and you can pan out, the revenues it's going to earn. Now with escape hunt, what I like about it, apart from premium brand and then premium locations, and it's a leisure industry that's catching on. And I did say about that. I mean, you said a while back, most of my friends have done escape hunt. And I said, yeah, but your general public haven't. I said, if you look at people I've asked your friends, how many of your friends have been to the cinema? Probably 100%. How many of your friends have been bowling? Probably 95%, 100% maybe. How many of your friends have been actually escape rooms? And, if I ask around, it's probably less than 30, 40%. There's nowhere near saturation.
It's just the wrong name, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
it just sounds like.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
having to escape from somewhere doesn't sound like. I know I'm talking down at Stockholm, but
they don't do that.
They should just be like fun rooms or something, or game rooms.
I think that's something else, Pad.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a list of fun rooms. Come into our fun room.
I've been in them in Amsterdam.
Yeah. Well, there's a lady in there you can have fun with. And there's a little fella in there you can have fun with. What do you want to have fun with? But no, what I'm saying is,
yes.
every, and that's why I keep saying to it, I wouldn't talk about this company if there wasn't lots more mileage in it. All I'm saying is, every site they open, and we know now that 19 sites, they're going for 50, they'll get 50, and there's got franchises. Every site is a step change in the valuation of the company. Now, name another company where basically that happens. It's so transparent, the value creation with every site they create. There's demand there, we know that. They're going to be in high footfall centres. So to me, it's one of the easiest, most obvious plays, to earn money over the next few years. They got it all right, pretty much. So yes, I'm going to talk about it non-stop like this. It's my biggest holding. I completely believe in it.
Yes.
And I think people who don't.
When did you last talk to the geezer that runs it?
Richard, I talked to him on the day of the final results. And I said
he's upstairs now.
He's welcome.
Special, yeah. But he jumps out. Hey, I was hiding. I escaped. But someone said to me, when the share price changes in a company, people change their opinion. We've had this before. We've had it with on the market, the share price goes down. You start looking at the negatives rather than the positives. Now, you've got to flip that thinking because as the share price goes down, it gets cheaper. And I had people on Twitter say to me, oh, see, that's it. Share price is going down. So we mean, that's it. What are you talking about, that's it? We're nowhere near that's it. I said, it's going to £2 plus. I said, if anything, take advantage of the dip. They've just reported financial results, which were probably the worst they'll ever report in their lives. We've just gone through a pandemic. And yet, that will be honestly the worst financial set of results they'll ever report. And yet, we've dipped from, 49.8 pence, nearly 50 pence, down to 33 pence, and take advantage of the dip, because they're not going to report anything as bad as that ever again financially. And
was that dip down to the results, or was that down to someone
selling? But no, you often get people worried about the results coming out, and then selling, and also it's a bit of a liquidity event, and you get people who want to exit, can exit in those times. But like I said, financial results for a startup or new companies are often an opportunity if you know the company, because what you'll get is, like, in fact, there's a Stockopedia article came out saying, this has been, since IPO, it's not been going very well, the share price has gone down. I thought, do you know anything about the company whatsoever? They started off with 10 million shares in issue, now they've got 88 million. I thought, well, yes, but they've always said they're never going to be profitable until 17 sites. So if you've been investing in them when they've had 5 sites or 6 sites, they're going to have to go back to the market and raise money. So if you know that, why are you investing? You should be investing at that point where the inflection point of starting to turn EBITDA positive, cash flow positive, and now they are. So I said, we're at that little area there. That dip we had this week was a very big opportunity, I think, people would get in there, because they've done from 8 to 19 sites during lockdown.
Did you buy any more? Did you get some?
I can't buy any more. There's not enough room in my portfolio for them. I've got no cash.
I did buy some more, but it was very hard to actually buy.
Go on, sorry.
It was very hard to actually buy. Because I thought, wow.
Why? Because when it was going down,
exactly.
Surely that would have mean there would have been loads of stock available.
Yeah, is that a Harry and Larry thing? No, I could buy, I think it was in 5,000 share.
I don't know, market makers will if they got a big sell order going through, right, they will have to, get the liquidity to get it through. Yeah. So they'll tinker around a little bit to drop the price, get some people buying or selling, get some liquidity in there, just get that order through. So they'll hold the price down for like all day, just trying to fill, buyers and sellers, and that'll happen, So we get bids.
Who was selling? Did we work it out?
There's a guy called Luke Johnson.
Luke Johnson sold out.
Yeah. Completely.
The last chunk must have been someone else, right?
Maybe the remnants of Stewie.
No, he's gone.
I don't know. He doesn't report. Well, no. It's when he reports in about a month's time. He reports late, doesn't he? So, but yeah, I always say this. It's easy to get wired in a share price dips, isn't it? But if you do, the more research you do in a company, and the more conviction you have, the more likely you are to buy a dip than sell a dip. And that's how you make money.
But when I was struggling to buy, I was thinking that's a good sign, surely. That suggests it's going to bounce, doesn't it? Because if there's a demand, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of people. I think things that you should not focus on, right? Essentially, sellers. Never focus on that. What not to focus on? Don't focus on warrants. Don't focus on the share price if you can. Only if you want to get a better entry. You should always have a focus on the business, and that's the thing. There's, you can't. There's things you can control and can't control. You can't control the sellers. There'll always be sellers in microcap companies because they're in different levels than you are. They may want to put their money somewhere else. So you can't control that. Don't be worrying about it. It's just expending energy on something that's never going to happen. But you should just focus on the business. So are they improving? Is it going to be better 12 months on the line? Yes, it will. Yeah. We've just seen the worst year they're ever going to have. And do you know what? If that's the worst year they're ever going to have, you wait until the best year. I don't think you can do any better than that in a lockdown.
What's also good is so Luke's gone now. If another one of those major shareholders has also gone, it will only be like you plus 3 big institutions, and hopefully that means that there's less people able to move the share price as we saw there.
Yeah. But it takes up a big chunk of my portfolio. But even I considered buying more. Why? Because when it comes down to investing, all you think is what have I got? What's my options here? Of the companies I hold, would I get into any other company? And I genuinely keep thinking, is there another company opportunity like this? I see it as a national brand. You don't get many national brands below 200 million market cap, In fact, you don't get many below 500 million market cap.
Yeah.
So in every, big site around the country. So is there any better opportunities out there? That's what it comes down to. So as for Open Orphan, no, I wouldn't get in now. Too big.
That's the question.
Yeah, so they're too big for me, right. And I don't know where they are at the moment. I really like Cahill. I just shouldn't have got out when I got out because I got in at the right time, and getting the right entry is one of the biggest goals you need to achieve. And I got that. And I messed it. So it's getting in and getting out. Yeah. I got in right. I got out wrong.
Interestingly, a couple of people talking about Predator, and that's another one where we've all been in and we've all got out, actually.
No.
I'm out now, yes. I was the last out, wasn't I?
Yeah.
At 15p, guys.
You have less moral gumption when it comes to environmentals.
No, they're on the verge of, semi-environmentally friendly, aren't they? What? With their CO2 extraction.
Yeah, we're getting more oil out. Yeah. Great. Brilliant.
Yeah. But it's, anyway... But people saying, would you be interested? But I mean, if they're not aware, we're buying that 2.5p, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, no,
transformed my portfolio.
Yeah.
That actually turned me from being really, really down to being just a bit down. Excuse me.
Yeah. No, but they came to the market, didn't they? And Paul came on the podcast when they came to the market. It was back in 2018, like we've said this before, and I put a decent chunk in. I thought it was a 3 million market cap, and it had so the resources were huge. Of course, the chance of getting those resources out of the ground doesn't matter, but they had cash because they just come to the market. I chucked a big chunk in, and it literally went from, I'm looking at 2 pence, and up to, in fact, it went up to 10 pence.
Yeah.
So,
and then recently it's pushed up. Well, it came all the way back down to about 4p, I remember, and then it's pushed back up to 15.
Yeah, you've got to keep looking. I always get this. We've got to come back to people say look at the share price. Look at the market cap. That's all you got to do. Look at the market cap of a company and the value generation from there on up. I mean, like I said, I like Open Orphan, and of course they're doing big contracts. I don't know much about Open Orphan actually, but I mean now because I don't tend to look at companies that I'm not going to research or buy into anymore. But if you look at Predator, it's 30 million. I understand it's got resources that are massive. But you've got to look at the movements of the chart and think, can they generate another 30 million? Because they've gone, let's say you doubled from 15, to 15 million market cap to 30 million, right? Now they've got to do twice as much as that to double again.
Yeah.
They've got to generate 30 million to get to double again. So that's why I go for small market caps, because the potential to generate small amounts but double is very easy, you know? So, so as a company gets bigger, I see people talking about, you know, bigger companies that are 600 million market caps or 500 million. This is going to the moon. And all this. Really? The chance of it now getting from $500 million to $1 billion is hard work. It's really hard work, you know. You want to get a company go from 5 million to 10 million. So you can't get much. There's got to be a lot of hype, hope, and potential to just drive a share price from $500 million to 1 billion with no revenue behind it or no profit behind it. It's a big ask. So go on. What were you saying?
Okay.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like a few weeks ago, we were saying that we were all-time high and we should sell our stock and rebuy when it hits the bottom. And actually, we probably should have done that.
Yeah. No. Do you know what? Listen.
Every time we say that,
look at this.
Prove right.
Look at this.
So why don't we do it?
No, you don't do, because you will get it at the wrong times. It's like we said. Okay. This is a good thing. Volatility, right? Look at this. Amazon's history. This is Amazon's history now, right? Very few people have held it, but if you'd held it, you'd been rich from the start. No matter how much you'd put in, if you put in $100, you'd have been rich. So it's declined over 10% 30 times, right? It's declined over 20% 14 times. It's declined by 30%, the share price, 8 times. It's done 40% drops 5 times. It's done a 50% drop 4 times. And it's done a 90% drop once, right? And that's returns, IPO returns, 164,000% return. If you
what was the 90% drop?
That's right at the start.
That's probably, I think it's towards when the .com bubble probably popped. You know, people thought Amazon. And if you look at it on paper at the time, Amazon thought there's no way Amazon are going to do well. They got all that capital tied up in the warehouses. eBay's the one. They're just middlemen. They're just a portal, you know. So their overheads are low, but Amazon won out. But I said that comes if you want to transform your portfolio, you've got to hold. The Times Rich List is out. Okay, and I looked at it yesterday. Look at the top one. Look at the top 100 Times richest people. Right, they're all business owners or investors in businesses. Are there any top slices on there? I'm a top slicer. Yeah. When the market goes up, everyone say, "Hey, I'm just top slice," and then I'm on the Times Rich List. No, it does nothing.
And also, Pad, what could also happen? You could sell it, and then it could have the dip, and then Harry and Larry just won't let you buy new stocks.
That's always
then it jumps back up again and probably goes higher.
I won't get to sell it in the first place. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, if you want to get, that's what you do. If you want to get wealthy, you invest in a small company that has the potential to be a mid cap, micro to mid cap. That's all you need, and literally you can 10 times your portfolio, and you won't do that trading. Jumping in and jumping out, getting 20% here, 30% there. It's ridiculous. It's stressful. You don't know where the market's going day to day. You can't say, the market's at the top, I'll top slice here, I'll get back in when it goes to the bottom. If you can do that, do it. You'll be a billionaire within weeks.
But having that little corner of your portfolio that you use for a bit of fun, punts, and like we were talking about earlier, I think is quite good. But it's just
corner.
The fun corner. Yeah.
Is it worth it, though, if it's not going to make any material gain to your portfolio?
You just described the situation about 20 minutes ago where that all happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it didn't make any material gain in my portfolio. But
what? We must have done.
No, which one?
The one that the Boohoo guy invested in.
No, listen. I had like less than 5% of my entire portfolio value in it. But I made 5 figures profit from it, yes.
It's like no material gain.
No, but it's not. It depends on your portfolio. But I can't put anything. That I knew had conviction because first of all they'd raised funds. When the biggest worry about microcaps companies who are not earning cash flow, or who are not generating cash flow, is funds. So once they've got the funds, you're fine. They're quite safe. You let them do what they need to do. But also attach that to a couple of big names. I knew that there was the only way was up for that company there.
Yeah, so that's a fun corner.
Yeah, but I mean.
Made a bit of money, some beer cash for the weekend.
Yeah.
Go buy a new Tesla. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a fun corner.
Exactly. And if it goes in the opposite direction, it's only a small part of your portfolio and it's not a problem.
I've got loads of these stocks.
Yeah, you have got a lot of that. Yeah. You've mostly fun corner.
Yeah, pretty much. 15 of them.
One big fun corner.
Seriously. How many stocks do you now hold?
I don't know.
Is it more than 17?
You can't even count that far now. I don't know.
Open up your box.
He's only got 10 fingers.
Yeah. But I can't believe you keep saying things. You never sell in companies, Steve. Just sell them.
They're my cash pots.
No, Steve. It's a very volatile cash pot. Even with the Fed, printing money like this is.
You got your rules. I got my rules. Just saying.
But your rules just to hold forever.
Yep.
But sometimes you have to look at, is that a good opportunity here?
You watch, one of those are going to go gangbusters at
They
one
could
point.
actually. Yeah. Steve could have the next Amazon. And then all of a sudden, see?
Turns out the one who made the most money was Steve.
Yeah.
Turn up my Tesla.
He's there sitting with Elon one weekend. No, Elon's inviting me over. I can't do the weekend podcast this week. Elon's his private
What's
jet.
happening with our cannabis play? Is that...
Oh yeah, Ananda. Just ask one thing. A survey here. Is checking your share price bad for you? Right? And I did this survey on Twitter. What's the longest amount of time you've gone without checking your portfolio share price? 60 minutes, 1 day, 1 day to 1 week, over a week. And the majority of people said 1 day, or the biggest percentage, 37.6% said 1 day. I've never, I don't think, gone without checking, apart from when the markets are closed. But even then I just check. Are they closed? Yeah, it's closed. But I've never gone, that long. But some people, 16.7% have gone over a week without checking their portfolio. Yeah. That's good, though. I mean, it is good. But I said on Twitter, I think I'd have to be in ICU, being fed through a straw before I didn't check it for a week. It's like,
but if your portfolio...
I'm for a week, I'm in ICU. Check my stocks.
If your portfolio is mostly funds or large cap stocks, probably is not that,
Do you not find it exciting? Well, no, maybe not for you, but certainly for me, it gets to 9 o'clock and I'm like, oh, it's been an hour and I've not looked.
How small is my cash pot now?
It's talking about 9 o'clock in the evening. Same as last hour.
It hasn't moved at all.
Hasn't moved at all, but I like to check them. I like those flashing lights. No, I think I've written this. It's okay to check shares regularly, but only if down days don't make you too anxious, right? Daily movements of the share price is not a reflection of how the business is doing. Understand that, because people get scared when the share prices go down, right? If you're an investor, you're investing in the business. If you're a trader, you are trading the share price and generally lose money. Yeah. But, that's what you do. And that's it. So is the business, because the share price has gone down, it's normally more a better investment, isn't it? Because it's cheaper. That's as simple as that. So, but it's easy to have anxiety about companies, and that's why I say reducing portfolio sizes, because when you have a lot of stocks, you can't be over them. You can't research them deeply unless you're a fund manager. They do that.
You deeply research them at the start, right? Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's the ticker?
What more do you need to know?
I'd say deeply research. Obviously, I look into that and I see what the company's about. Then
we should actually we should get a list of the 17 stocks he owns and ask individually what they do and see if he knows.
Okay, wait.
Salt Lake Potash, right? Where is it based? Their first operation?
Australia.
Where?
Melbourne.
Hey, no. He looked in the start.
Melbourne, Salt Lake Potash. We're in the middle of Melbourne.
I don't know.
Brilliant.
Never been, so.
Western Australia.
Okay, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'll help you.
Yeah.
What are they selling, Steve?
Potash.
What kind?
Yeah, of the kind.
That bitty.
I just heard it.
Grounded white stuff.
It's a good company. It's going to make me some money. So,
And is it making you money?
Steve.
You still own it?
yeah.
I'd love to see a presentation from Steve, the fund manager. I say, right, this company here is a good company. It's going to make you lots of money, right? They do this. They're in Melbourne. It's white. There's these big lakes out there, massive lakes, and people rent them out for parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And they get free salt. There's that salt stuff here. There's salt. People are loving the salt. So the ticker's SO4. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next stock. So I know, but as I'm saying, you can't be over 20 stocks. If you can't be over 10 stocks. If you're a job, a 9-to-5 job, whatever job you've got, it's really hard to be over it. If you've got 5 stocks, you can really get into them and you can have confidence. When the share price dips, you think, okay, they're now cheaper. I can buy some more. But when you've got 10 stocks, you start to worry. What's going wrong? The share price is going down in that company. What's going wrong? If you knew about the company, you wouldn't think that. You think,
I'm working on this. It's like an addict trying to wind myself off buying and keeping.
But that thing about you saying, it's one day one of these stocks will go berserk. That's what's stopping you selling. Well, generally they don't.
No, it's not. The reason I'm not selling is because I just hate losing money. Yeah. So and as I said, same with Salt Lake.
You've lost it,
but you're continuing to lose. Yeah. But anyway.
I know.
Yeah, you already lost that. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah. Any more stuff on there about the
Someone says Steve, Pete, and Paddy are top lads. That's nice.
Obviously,
that's true. That's really good.
Thanks very much.
No, I agree.
That's probably Megan.
Yeah, it probably is.
Probably my wife.
Probably the wife. You guys need to get off Harry and Larry. Always rubbish when there's volatility. Yeah.
Why is this though?
I've heard that.
What is going on there?
Can we
is
get
it
them on the
deliberate?
podcast?
Is it just because they've got a dodgy app?
Can we get them on the podcast where you think Steve and Pete, who are billionaires, are going to come on a weekend podcast for us to criticise their app?
Yeah.
No, I'm on my yacht.
Yes.
Tell him I can't come. I'm on my yacht that weekend.
I was thinking, could we get some of the other big players to let us to pay to switch our stocks over to them so that we could trial them?
Again. Again, you talk about Barclays or other apps. I mean,
to get out, I looked into it. To get out of Harry and Larry, you've got to pay £25 per stock, and then
that's going to cost me a fortune.
Yeah,
Steve, bankrupt Steve.
Or you sell them all, but obviously you're doing your £12 per stock there, and then you transfer the money, and then you buy them again.
Yeah,
it's just faff.
A bit of a faff.
They got it sussed them.
But also, then obviously it's a different ISA, so you then
you transfer the ISA.
Yeah, but if you was to sell more and then rebuy, then you're rebuying in a different ISA. So the ones
to
that
buy
keep
and
the
sell,
ISA is to transfer it over.
Yeah.
They got it sussed. There. So what we do is we don't let them trade big chunks.
No.
They can trade like £5. But the dealing price is more than £5. We're making money on that anyway.
Every time.
And then if they want to get out of it, we charge them £25 per stock. And then meanwhile, in fact, can I have another tequila on the yacht?
Pina colada.
Where can we charge them? We just make the app crap. Just make it really crap so they can't sell it.
It looks nice, but it just doesn't. It's just
it's missing some massive features as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knowing what you can do on Barclays.
Yeah, no, Barclays is quite good. It's analysing that you can look at the portfolio. I mean, I don't use that. I download it on a spreadsheet and do my own spreadsheets now. But it's very good, Barclays, and it also accounts for how much money you put in and take out and all that stuff. So it accounts for that. But
Paddy, next time you're at all-time high, you're going to sell all your stocks anyway, so that's cool, and then just transfer that lump into an ISA on Barclays.
There must be some investors who work at the company quite high up who use the platform going, this isn't great. Do you not think?
Well, yeah.
Unless they've got priority access on their accounts, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe is Robinhood ever going to launch in the UK or something similar?
Yeah.
Maybe it needs something like that to shake it up, because I still think even if you're investing a lot of money, I still think £12 is a lot for a trade.
Yeah, it is.
50p or something.
Yeah, and so they do encourage like trading, because Barclays, the more you do, the cheaper the dealing cost is, which is not a good thing, really, is it? Why? I mean, they get money off that, of course they do. But they shouldn't encourage regular trade, should they? It's not about investing, I suppose. Well, let's start it up, guys. Let's start an app. Steve, you can do it. Trading app.
Can he?
Can I?
No,
I really can't.
But how hard can it be?
Really hard, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah, probably really difficult.
don't do it then.
Mark says, is Pollux going to fly?
Yeah.
Pound. Yes.
End of.
I was thinking, right? I own about 7 stocks, right? The ones I'm most convinced of, I talk about all the time, and the others I'm just playing around with to see if they're there, So I'm convinced with Polarian. I'm convinced with Escape Hunt, Gfinity pretty much. In fact, good news from Gfinity this week, and Trufin I'm convinced of pretty much. I think that's going to do very well.
Yeah. No, Trufin's an interesting one because we're getting close to the end of May.
Yeah.
And the Aragras thing has to be resolved by then.
Yeah. And James, he will not do any promotional stuff or do too much when Aragras is in there. So he said, I know it's only 20%, and they can get it placed, he said, but it's just waiting for them, really. So it's fine. It's all, but it's not a problem. He said the business is doing very well, but that's why he doesn't want us to go gangbusters promoting it, and then Aragras coming in and dump stock or something. So he doesn't want to do that, it'll do very well. But I'm looking at Gfinity. The other ones I have holdings in them. But the members of the share club know what I hold, about 5% of my portfolio. But I'm not going to go big in them until I'm really convinced. And I'm not convinced. So,
just can we jump back to Polarian? Because to be fair, Mark did say when are they going to fly?
I don't know. It doesn't.
You got the FDA in October. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I did that video last time. I said last time, a month before we had the results, the share price started moving. So I think at the end of the day, the closer we get, that'll happen.
Did they say there was some news before October as well?
Apparently not. I thought it was on the presentation they show like the Hatch Waxman, which is sneeze, which is exclusivity. Maybe announced the sun's coming out. Maybe announced beforehand, but I don't think they will now. Nah, I don't think so. Sorry.
Nice. What's going on?
The sun came out and started going sneezing.
Okay. Okay. But in terms of Do you think it's going to rally towards the FDA date, or we do not know?
Again, right? I've held players the longest share I've held. Why? Yeah. And every now and again, when I've gone to sell, or I thought about selling, I've looked at it and thought, no.
And you've averaged up, and
I said, no. This genuinely is one of those companies that could transform your portfolio. It could do 5-10 bags with it very soon. Because once they get the FDA clearance, I expect news to start happening very fast. Because Richard came on the podcast and he said there are lots of people asking us, hurry up, what's going on? How long? They need it. If you need to treat people properly, you need the best tech. At the moment, MRIs, CT scans cannot even pick up COVID, long COVID in people's lungs.
So
whereas
the ones that they're
Polarin
selling now, so hospitals are using it already.
Research, it's a funny thing. You can use it for research purposes, and then you write papers on it. And I don't know how medicine works, but basically, if your paper is then peer reviewed by other institutions, so they are a lot of these hospitals that have Polarin's kit are the leaders in these industries, and people just follow them, so they'll write the papers, they'll be peer reviewed, but so they'll get them to the sort of the top 100 most influential sort of tier 1 academies and hospitals in the US. Everyone else then will just say, they're using them, we're going to use them.
One of my friends, who his parents are ex-GPs, and he's just invested into it because I was talking about it, and he spoke to his dad about it, and he was like, what do you think of this? And he went away, did a little research. He said, yeah, this would be really handy.
Well, my son, Monty's got a lung condition, right? And he's had CT scans and he's had x-rays. And Priya, who's his doctor, his lovely lady in Basingstoke. And I said to Megan, show Priya this video and what it can do, the presentation. And because at the moment, there's just no competition on the market for it. And you think, in an area as big, and Richard keeps saying, the guy, the CEO, he said, everything else has been done. You can check every other part of the body. Lungs got left behind, very complex structures. You can't really get down. And I found that. So we went to Monty had to have a bowscopy thing put down his lung. You can only get so far down because it branches out, and you can't even get down there and look at them. So access to the lungs is very hard. But this is the only thing that can give you, a real sort of view and analytics on it beyond MRI and CT. So it's a massive, and it keeps saying unmet need. I didn't understand what that's meant. And I realise what it means is basically you can't treat people properly unless you've got that tech. So because the FDA, I don't know, they collaborate and talk to them every week apparently. So it's not like you just hand in your homework and then wait 6 months or your exam for a result. They are collaborating all the time. So I can see it going through. I can't see it not going through.
He sounded very jolly when you chatted to him, didn't he?
Yeah, and
he's the polar opposite to the CEOs on Twitter, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's the most.
I feel like saying, "Rampant Richard, what is wrong with you, you fool? You're sitting on 100 bagger here," and he's there talking very technically and.
Yeah, I know, I love it.
For heaven's sake,
I think that's great.
I would like an earpiece and he said, "Rampant Richard, rampant, Richard, rampant."
No, I really like that, and that does instill a lot of faith in and kind of confidence.
Every question I should ask: will this be 100 bagger?
Yes.
Yes. Well, it's a great unmet need.
He did almost say yes, didn't he?
Yeah.
You said to him, "This could be a very successful company." It's sort of like calmly went, "Yep, it could."
Will it be A, a 50 bagger, B, a 90 bagger, or C, a 100 bagger?
No, I said to him once. I said it was off the tape. I said, "This is going to be like a 10 bagger, isn't it?" And I think so, yeah. So I think, I mean, exactly. The negative is not a bad thing. It's like if it get bought out early by a company that, and they get in here early, after the FDA approval, I think, and I can't see that not happening. Why wouldn't it happen? That, it's an addition to the MRI scanners. So a big MRI scanner sort of, let's be honest, there's only about 2 or 3, I think, big MRI scanner producers. If you buy this tech, your MRI scanner is straight away better than all the MRI scanners. Why wouldn't you buy that? Why wouldn't you buy Polarin? It's just a no-brainer. I think what Polarin would like to do is actually do deals with all of them. Say, and like Richard said, it'll be embedded at production rate. You buy it with it. So yeah, but yeah, I think so. What I liked, a while back, last thing on Gfinity, just John Clark. He said, and he actually. Sometimes he writes suggested questions for the podcast if you don't know what and significance of this thing. And a while back he said, "Here's a question here: do you have a model for Gfinity? Are you aiming to be something?" And he said, "Yeah, Future PLC is a company I really like." And I hadn't even heard of it because obviously it's outside my area of incompetence. But Future is like they are a very successful media company.
Yeah,
and they've gone from literally I think if you look at the chart, I'm looking at the chart here. They are a £2.2 billion company. And I never heard of them. And he said, that's what I want to do. They own their own media. There we are. It's gone from, look at the chart on that. It's now, just spiked up to £27.90. In 2017, it was £2.50. That's a 10 bagger. All right. In what
do they do?
They just media company. They produce the publishing, digital media. So they articles, and they obviously acquire some companies as well. So any company that's a niche field in publishing and the internet, it's basically advertising. They own these sites advertising, very targeted, groups and readers and digesters. So that's what John's doing, Gfinity, and then they've signed 2 Apple seniors, executives from Apple, for warrants, basically, and options, they've got. And then they've got this guy there, signed him, a non-executive director, Hugo Drayton. He spent the last 6 years an independent non-exec at the board of Future. So he was on Future, a FTSE 250 global media production platform. He's also seen the senior independent, in fact, he's also working for the Telegraph Group, 10 years he spent with those, where he's group managing director. They are attracting some massive names, Gfinity. Yep. He was group managing director of the Telegraph Group. He was at the Future, so I'm just thinking, sooner or later, I just genuinely think, this is probably, of course, this speculation and promotional speculation, but I just think they're going to come up with something.
That's unlike you.
They're going to come up with something massive. You can't have all these people pulling in the right direction, the same direction, and not achieve anything, I think, and they are going in the right direction anyway. And sooner or later, it'll do very well. Like you say, I think we'll be surprised. And I like now John again is not very rampy. He's literally there's been stuff they announced. Like we always say, do you want to come on the podcast and chat about this or the Apple guys? No, we'll wait till some operational news comes out. And I thought, get on the podcast and talk about it. Do it more promotion. But he's obviously
computer games, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to because they're like literally
just playing Call of Duty.
Yeah. I'm too busy on esports. Okay. And he doesn't need to. So I think what they want to be is like an esports media company. So they will arrange, obviously, as a service, but they want to own media in that area in any niche field. Like some of the sites they've bought recently, I've never even heard of them, but they're very active. Niche.
Yep. With big followings.
Heavy traction.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And so good advertising targets as well because they're very targeted, So they know what they're doing. I like that a lot. Anything else we're trying to we've done
quite a few people saying Trading 212 and Free Trade are both quite good for trading.
Free Trade sounds good.
Yeah, apparently it's free to buy and sell, apparently. I don't know how that works.
Do they do ISAs?
I got
something about that.
I got Dan on the podcast. Dan on the podcast now, he's been on twice from Free Trade, and he's on this way. And I said, "Why does that work then?" And if you go there, Free Trade, I don't know. You have to try it myself. Have anyone tried Free Trade? I don't know because I know someone's tried. Is it Trading 212? Yeah. There's a lack of options on that, and they can't. They got no liquidity. They can't buy and sell when they want to. So there's a bit of a problem with that. I don't know what it's like. But,
also, when you're putting quite a lot of money into an ISA, you kind of want the company to be fairly reputable. You don't want them going under, really, do you? Because they would take all your money with it, I presume. Is that how it would work?
No, you covered up to like 85 grand in you. So,
Steve, yes, above that. Knackered. And IG, Jono says he's happy with IG, £3 a trade.
Okay.
That feels a bit more reasonable. I don't know. In my head, £12 just seems like
it does, yeah. So IG, is there good? Any other? IG, Justin, do you do Botox?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Am I looking that good?
Yes.
Did you see, talking about that?
You're putting it in the wrong place.
Did you see the Friends reunion?
Cracking bum.
Did you see the Friends reunion? Have you seen that?
Yes, I know.
I looked at the Friends reunion, and I think David Schwimmer's probably looking the best. And then even what's her name? What's the girl who's the most famous one though? What's her name? Yeah, she's got a lot of Botox. You can see, can't you? Her lips are almost
she's still a heavy smoker.
Is she?
I still find fascinating about her.
Yeah, but did you see what's her name? Ross Chandler. He couldn't speak.
Ross Chandler.
No, what's his name? Matt Perry. He couldn't speak. He was like, really? He's obviously hammered it, didn't he? He's had a rough time, And because in this clip, they all said something, quick clips of all of them, apart from Chandler, who said something I couldn't understand. He got the guy from
and he was kind of the funniest one for the one-liners, really, wasn't he? So
now can't even say a line.
Yeah.
You were known for your one-liners. Now you can't say one line. There's a problem there. How about Lando, Charles? I don't know. I'm not into resource stocks. You know.
Junior gold miners, they're talking about, yeah.
Please, Paddy, eat the BAP.
It's okay. Wanderlust asked for our top 3 stocks. Yeah. Top 3 stocks at the moment for a newish investor. We could all probably name those. I think they're probably all the same, aren't they? Yeah. Escape Hunt. Polarian. Gfinity or Trufin. C4XD. Yeah.
Well, I know my fault. I've got a couple of others I'm holding there, but and I like one of them, two of them,
Trufin, I think, is the most interesting.
Yeah, I think
that's the one that just because there's so many things inside it.
Potential.
Like I find I'd love to know more about when he fancies having a chat. I'd like to hear him talking a bit more about that.
No, I think they'll do. I say that Mortal Shell thing. In fact, one of the guys from the Shipix Investment, in fact, a couple of them, Shipix Investment Club, the Trufin channel there, and fair play. One of the guys, first of all, has bought Mortal Shell. So it's just for research purposes, so he's going to play it. And then they joined a Discord group of Mortal Shell, and they said it's very active in there. And people are loving it, and so it's sold 500,000 units. Mortal Shell. That's big for a new game, and it's not even launched on. Is it Steam or Stream? Is it Steam? Steam is the big gaming platform. It's launching this summer on Steam, and James said there's a wish list thing there, anti-wish list, and they can see how many people have added to their wish list. So they'll buy it on Steam as a platform, and just other four parts of the business. Well, Satago, like Lloyd's, is going to say basically, it looks like there's a done deal with Lloyd's, pretty much, and the other parts of the business, Oxygen, the biggest supplier, to councils, right, with their software.
I like that there's like a couple of really dull ones in there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like there's some interesting, exciting ones, and there's also some
Virtus is like is IFA, independent financial advisors stuff, and that really is very dull. But that
probably
again,
quite profitable.
Yeah, it is, and the loan book has gone up on that, so yeah, it could do very well, I think. But yeah,
what is their idea to spin these off at some stage, or is they just want to keep on holding them?
I think so. But again, they've got to get to the stage. They are now get the stage where they're starting to generate positive cash flow, all of them pretty much. And so big companies will not. Big companies don't mind paying over the odds if they know they're going to have a company that's going to be generating positive cash flow over 10 years. That's fine. That's what they want to do, and they'll pay. But they won't pay for companies too much that's pre-revenue or loss making, because it's too much of a risk and a hassle for them. So. Yeah, they will spin them out, but at the right time, I think. And
And use that money to buy more, or are they?
Well, last time they've already returned. If you look back at their RNSs, they've already returned via special dividends. But I think 5 or 10 million quid to invest, so you've just got a dividend, and they pay out dividends. So that may happen, or they may reinvest and buy another company. I don't know, but I don't know what's going to happen. But there we are.
Simon wants to know, in the small cap world, what's an achievable yearly gain year on year? 20%, 40%, 60%, more?
60%.
Yeah, I mean, small caps.
Yeah, well, I would say if you want to. If you want to get better in the bank, you invest in the stock market, but you can invest in a fund. A fund, you can get like anything. I think if you look at the Octopus Microcap Fund, which I looked at recently, that's averaged by 21% over the last 10 years. So you can achieve, just by chucking your money in a fund, that invests in microcaps, and you'll get 20%. And if you compound 20% up over like 10 years,
quite a lot of money.
That's a decent return, yeah. Now, if you want to achieve more than that, then you're going to have to go into individual stocks. But then you're going to have to know what you're doing about risk and reward and buying at the right time. It's a lot more complex. Like I say, you have to take on a lot more. You have to, it's a lot more of a brain sort of.
Would you say the octopus was
octopus?
Octopus. What was it?
Octopus. Do you know an animal called an octopus?
Octopus.
That's it.
That's the one, yeah.
What is it? Oh, look, it's an octopus. It's an octopus, Steve. That's what I said, octopus.
That's what I said, didn't I?
Is that better than the Vanguards?
Well, yeah, it's more risky, but it's like, if you look at, they've got a record now, 10 years. I mean, they've been around for 10 years. They've done, but you can also say we're in a bull market, so,
You sounded really simple there.
Yeah.
Is that better than the Vanguard?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
But you've obviously got to be able to say it when you
Octopus.
You've obviously got to be able to say it when you call up.
Yes.
I want to invest in the Octopus Mug Fund. The octopus? We don't have that. No, octopus. No, we don't have that. Octopus, what's wrong with you? The legs, the things, 8 legs, That's an octopus. Yes, that's it.
I want to buy it.
Yeah, no, so... it's probably is, but Vanguard is like it's wider, isn't it? So again, Steve, I'd probably try it. But
in terms of an achievable gain in small caps, I mean, obviously.
I would say if you can achieve 20% and you're enjoying it, do it. It's a lot more fun. If you're going to be passive, just chuck in a fund and get 20%. If that's all.
This is the first year I've actually started to be in positive. Like the first 3 years of investing, I was down 20%.
Yeah, 30%. That's what I was going to say. So, there are a lot, small cap.
Yeah.
It's
we were talking about this
year it's been dramatically up.
Well, we were talking about this like 2 years ago. Didn't we go to in Cardiff Winter Wonderland?
More than 2 years ago.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, yeah. And I was with Megan, you two guys, and you were underwater, weren't you, on investments? And Megan was like, "Are you really?" Yeah. So what? Justin isn't.
Yes, I know.
And I said to him, Steve, my ambition here for next year is to get you in profit somehow. But I'm surprised you are, though, considering you hold so many stocks.
Still holds those stocks, yeah.
I know, he still holds the stocks that you should have been selling off.
Just put more money in. That's all.
But yeah, that's what I would say. It's just the volatility of small caps means that, yes, it could be anywhere from a 20-30% loss to a 100% gain. But
yeah. So basically, they're very risky, very rewardy. So you've got to do your research, but there's small things you can do to, cut down the risk. That's why I say, someone said investing is gambling. Call it what you want. It's about odds, And so it's basically you can, and if you want to liken it to gambling, you say if you do your research and you know what you're doing, it's the difference between betting on a horse with race with 20 horses in it. And say all being 10-1, you're picking one horse, or a race with two horses in it, and one looks a lot better than the other. But you're not investing into other horses, and so it's about. And I say about on my lessons video, it's all about the odds, and you can manipulate the odds in investing to be on your side, apart from being odds against where you get with horse racing. And but it's all about risk and reward. If you enjoy it, and you want more than 20%, or you're happy with 20%, then do it. In fact, I would do it if I really enjoyed it. I'd do it for 10% gain. You could chuck half in a fund.
Still pretty good, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really,
it's more than the bank, and you learn. I was learning. Listen, you could put half. It's not either or, is it? You could put, and I always say to people, you're better off rather than having 20 stocks because you can't look over those, and you'll never get to research them all. Chuck, say, 40% or even 60% of your money in a fund, like a microcap fund or a good fund, and then the other 40% buy some stocks with, and then you can and do and learn.
I sent that article around, didn't I, last week about this change in mindset that people have, where they need to, instead of just investing to get a certain percentage every year, because of wage stagnation over the last 10 years and the state of the economy and all the rest of it, people are now looking for opportunities where they can completely change their life. They want to invest a chunk of money and go gangbusters, and they're looking for that and expecting that. And because they're seeing it on Instagram and Twitter that other people are doing it, that becomes the aspiration. And that's great. I'm sure we all aspire to make 100%.
But what will to change that? No, I saw that, and I couldn't write the text and comment on it. The guy saying, I think the mindset has changed of younger people who are prepared to take on more risk. Yeah. They want to be rich. But what will change that is the crypto crash. Honestly, if that crashes, and I think we're on the edge of it now.
If you follow on like Instagram, a lot of the kids who've invested in that and they've jumped in, they are now feeling the pain, and that's a big thing.
Yes, my nephew Henry's at 1918. He said, why don't you get on TikTok or Instagram? I think you do well on there. So I'm not going to go on TikTok or Instagram.
You and Megan could do little dance videos.
Connecting to Fred. I'm speaking. Hi, Fred. I'm live on YouTube. Hi.
Just give me the app.
He's got. Yeah. What do you want, Frederick? I'm just finishing off a live record. Thanks for tuning in. Button. Okay, spending money again, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, this is why I invest.
Yeah.
It's kids like that, completely sucking the money out of me all the time.
Is he in
Send my
Go
Go Henry card. Right, I'll speak to you later, Fred. We're finishing soon, all right? But I'll send you a picture of the card, yes, all right? Bye-bye. Love you. It's like, In fact, Paddy said to me a while back, let's finish off on this because we've been going on for a long time. He said, what, Justin, and he direct messaged me. I don't know why. Where are you going with this? Yeah. So what do you mean? Investing. I said, well, I enjoy it. He said, I know you want a bigger house and stuff. I said, well, that isn't the ultimate goal. I said, the thing is, I got kids. They suck you bone dry. I said, I mean, they go to college and all that stuff. And also, I mean, of course, you can never have enough money you can, but there's always that unexpected thing that can happen, isn't it? You never know, a bill, a legal bill or a medical bill or anything like that. But also, you just got more options, haven't you? There are more money. And I said, you should invest. Because I did that study before. Why invest? My first ever video was about people. Why should you invest and why invest in the stock market? Because if you had 40 grand in cash in 1980, that was worth 10 grand now. That's what it's worth. And that's why people are going about Bitcoin saying, it's a non-depreciating asset. It's an appreciating asset. That's why you put your money in Bitcoin rather than cash. And there's this big argument of cash versus Bitcoin. So you've got to do something where you can't put it in a bank at this level because you are losing money in real time, so you've got to invest it. And so yeah. And then you can go beyond, then people start investing money and they start, I'm getting a nice 5-10% gain of this. Hang on, why can I do more than that? I go into crypto, I'll get 1,000%, and then I start losing a lot. So no, it's a fine line, isn't it, between earning wealth and then going over the top and blowing the lot, But yeah. Anything else, boys?
No, that's plenty.
Absolutely plenty.
Yeah, that's way too much, isn't it? So we go to the pub now.
Yeah.
Megan wanted to come to the pub with us, right? And my parents had turned up. No, she has to go to the garden centre with my parents. I said to them,
why did she come to the pub with us and you take your parents?
I don't go to the garden centre. I said, no. I said to my parents, she's coming to the pub with us. She said, and Megan said, no, I'm going to the garden centre. I want to go to the garden. I want to play some plants and stuff. She doesn't. She wants to do Prosecco and eat food. Yeah. That's what she wants to do. But there we are. Okay. See, the economy's booming, guys. We're helping the economy here.
Right. Okay. So, good.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joined in. Thanks a lot. And Justin, what's the next 100 bagger? You know my answer to that.
It begins with E.
Or P. Yeah. Or G. Or T. One of those. Thanks very much. Speak to you next weeky.
Bye.
Bye.
The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.